The Tale of the Wise Tortoise and the Greedy Hyena. Once upon a time, in the heart of the African savanna, a great drought gripped the land. The rivers had dried into winding paths of cracked earth, and the once bountiful grasslands had turned golden and brittle. The animals of the savanna grew thin and weary, their days consumed by the endless search for food and water. Among them were Tortoise and Hyena. Tortoise, though small and slow, was respected for his cleverness and calm wisdom. Hyena, on the other hand, was cunning but greedy, always looking for ways to take more than his share. One scorching afternoon, as the sun beat mercilessly upon the land, Hyena stumbled upon an extraordinary sight. Hidden deep within a grove of thorny acacia trees was a lush paradise, fruit trees of every kind, their branches sagging under the weight of ripe mangoes, sweet bananas, plump papayas, and juicy guavas. Hyena's mouth watered as he stared at the treasure before him. "This is my lucky day," he thought. "With all this food, I'll never go hungry again. But if the others find out, they'll take it all. I must keep this a secret." Hyena darted into the grove and began feasting, tearing into the fruit with abandon. He ate until his belly was full, then buried the leftovers beneath the bushes to hide the evidence. Every day he returned to the grove, gorging himself while the other animals starved, but Hyena grew careless. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, Tortoise noticed Hyena sneaking away. Suspicious of Hyena's unusual behavior, Tortoise decided to follow him. Slowly and quietly, Tortoise trailed Hyena through the grasslands and into the grove. Hidden behind a bush, Tortoise watched as Hyena stuffed himself with fruit, his laughter echoing through the trees. "So this is why Hyena never looks hungry," Tortoise muttered to himself. "While the rest of us suffer, he hoards this bounty for himself. This is not right." The next morning, Tortoise approached Hyena as he lounged under a baobab tree. "Brother Hyena," Tortoise began, his voice calm but firm, "I know about the grove you've been hiding. The other animals are starving while you feast. We must share this treasure with everyone." Hyena's eyes narrowed. "And what can you do about it, old Tortoise? You're too slow to even climb a tree. This grove belongs to me now, and I'll do as I please." Tortoise remained unfazed. "We'll see about that," he said quietly before retreating into his shell. Hyena laughed. "What can a small, slow creature like you possibly do?" But Tortoise was already forming a plan. That evening, as the savanna cooled and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Tortoise gathered the other animals. Elephant, giraffe, zebra, monkey, and even the tiny weaver birds listened intently as Tortoise shared his discovery and his plan. "Hyena has been hoarding the grove's fruit for himself," Tortoise explained. "But if we work together, we can ensure that everyone has enough to eat. Here's what we'll do." The animals nodded in agreement, their spirits lifting for the first time in weeks. The following day, while Hyena slept soundly under the shade of a tree, the animals sprang into action. Elephant used his mighty trunk to shake the fruit from the highest branches, while Giraffe reached the ones beyond Elephant's reach. Monkey swung from tree to tree, gathering the ripest fruit and tossing it down to Zebra and Antelope, who carried it away in baskets woven by the weaver birds. Even Tortoise played his part, directing the operation with careful precision. By the time the sun reached its zenith, the grove had been emptied, and the fruit was distributed evenly among the animals. When Hyena awoke and returned to the grove, he was met with a shocking sight: bare trees and empty bushes. His howl of outrage echoed across the savanna. "Who dared to steal my fruit?" he bellowed. Tortoise stepped forward, flanked by the other animals. "This grove does not belong to you, Hyena," he said calmly. "It belongs to all of us. You hoarded its gifts, but we've ensured that everyone can share in its bounty." Hyena snarled, his eyes blazing with anger. "You dare to challenge me, Tortoise? You're nothing but a slow, fragile creature. How could you outsmart me?" Tortoise smiled. "Strength and speed mean little without wisdom, Hyena. Your greed has blinded you. Unity is stronger than selfishness." The other animals stood firm. their unity unshaken by Hyena's threats. Realizing he was outnumbered, Hyena slunk away, grumbling under his breath. From that day on, the grove became a shared space where every animal contributed to its care and took only what they needed. The savanna began to thrive once more, and the animals learned the value of community and fairness. Tortoise, he became a symbol of wisdom and justice, and his story was passed down through generations as a reminder that greed isolates, but sharing brings strength. Subscribe to You Crave News